Bird gang. This your boy Hyphen Eagles. You are now tuned. This your boy Hyphen Jersey. You are now tuned in to Hyphen Eagles. Man, it's been a good first start of the season on week one, man. I was excited watching the game and everything. But first and foremost, before I start anything, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I'm gonna have it right here. That's the YouTube channel, man. Do not hesitate to subscribe, like all that good stuff. You already know it's much appreciated. And definitely do not hesitate to hit me up on Twitter. And that go my Twitter right there, man. If you want to conversate, communicate me for anything for me to support you, whatever it is, like definitely hit me up on my on Twitter. But most important, follow the YouTube channel. But I'm not gonna keep wrapping up too long. Get right into it. Yo, first, you already know I'm at work right now. I'm double grinding. I'm like, let me step out, gotta make it talk to y'all about what happened on the game and more stuff that acquired and updates and everything. First thing I wanna say to all the Green Bay Packers fan, man, I wish Jordan Love a speedy recovery. You know, I can't imagine losing your starter quarterback right off the first game of the season. That's a lot to take. Um, I know they said about like 5 to 6 weeks that he's probably going to be out and everything, but so that's better than being out for a whole week. I mean, I said whole week, a whole season. But still 5 or 6 weeks is still a lot if that's accurate and everything. But because he being out, you could be down for you could potentially go what 0-5 or 0-6. You could lose five of these next 5 games and be 0-6. And if the backup quarterback don't step in and do what needs to do what needs to be done, it's gonna make Jordan Love it's gonna make his position a little bit more harder when he step in, because first he's gonna be a little bit rusty being all out for all that time. And then now he gotta pick up the slack. He gotta, he gonna intentionally have to go on a win streak and win least, he got to win at least about like what 7 or 8 games in a row or something like that. So it's going to be a tough day. Start out season for y'all, for the Green Bay Packers. But a speedy recovery to Jordan Love. We don't wish no injury on nobody. And so that's what I want to say on that. But other than that, man, we got the dub. Eagles got the dub. It was a roller coaster game. The first, especially how it started. I was a little worried a little bit, but I knew we was gonna bounce back. But just to see, I already knew there was gonna before the game, the season started. I already knew, and I say in my other videos that it was going to be like, I wasn't say sloppy. I didn't say sloppy, but I knew it was going to be a lot of undisciplined, penalties and everything. I didn't necessarily think it was going to be that, start off how sloppy it was, but I knew it was going to be undisciplined in the beginning, just because, the starters have not been played and just being rusty with a lot of stuff, a lot of the penalties and everything that was happening. But to having those fumbles and that interceptions that, I could understand one, but having two interceptions from Jalen Hurts, and then a lot of those passes, it was a little bit of force. So he gotta get, he gotta get into that rhythm. He gotta get into that mid-brain of remembrance of what not to force and what not to do. I know he been in the season for a couple of for what 3 to 4 season already. So sometimes that happen when a lot of times that happens when you're not playing those snaps in the preseason. you're tending to go away a little bit from what you know. Like, and you're like, he should know not to force those passes, but it happens when you like, when you don't keep that momentum going on for yourself to remember these things. Like now it's doing back. I'm pretty sure it's doing back to his head. Like, oh yeah, yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. Ain't no sense of forcing it. Just throw the ball away, live another down. You don't gotta play hero ball. Like, so a lot of those situations that he was doing, it was like, yo, you don't need to do that. Our offense is kicking. We got a good offense that you don't have to force. Just live for another down. I do understand because of the defense. If this was the defense last year, I probably would have like, oh well, he probably worried of giving it back to the defense hands. But this defense seemed a little bit more better than last year, like because of some guys that came back and a new heads that's in on his team that producing. Then especially with Vic Fangio, he seems a little bit more better than our old coordinator that was in there. Like so our defense a little more better. I like how they made it stand. Like when we had those first hiccups when we came in, like they kept the Packers out of the end zone and kept them making only 6 points for 2 field goals. Like that was good for our defense to do to give us a chance to come back. Because potentially if we never had those turnovers, we could have beat the Packers a little bit more worse. Like, they got a little bit of easier score because of off of our mistakes. People keep saying, oh, uh, we if the Packers allow us to be in the game and all that, and not understanding that we was helping them out. And then you want to hear a lot of penalties and refs. How a lot of people say about the refs and everything. They want to talk about the refs and oh, uh, talking about that last drive that we got the penalty with the on that last drive with Hurst and everything, but not understanding like both teams was getting penalties because that roughing the passer on Jordan Love, that was a bull crap call. Like, that wasn't, his hands weren't even in his face, gave him a little shove because his momentum and everything, so there was both penalties on both sides, you know, um the that field was horrible, but was horrible on both sides. So you can't make that excuse. So it was an even game. It's just that we just made more plays on both sides of the field. It was a back and forth on the offense, the defense on both sides looked like they was having a hard time to stop. But man, what I want to say and focus on is that our offense is gonna be something this season only because of to have those many turnovers, that we had, and to still put up 34 points, like that's to tell you something. Like, so imagine if we was already disciplined, we already had the rust off, and this was like a little later in the season, probably like our fifth game or so. Like it could have came out. It could have been bad. Could have been bad. We could have potentially had another touchdown. Hurst threw the interception, and then in one of the goal line, we was marching on that. If we didn't have that Cam Jurgens was a little bit of rusty or whatever was going on, trying to get used to being the starter of the center. So his snaps was a little off. But if he was good and we didn't have that fumble, that could have been a touchdown drive right there. Um, that well, I'm not gonna ever say because you can't say what is with the interceptions and all that. But like, you know, I would just say we could have technically had another touchdown drive if it wasn't for that fumble with Cam Jurgens. Hurts wasn't expecting him to snap the ball that early, and like that just caused another a drive to that we lost. Like, so we could have potentially it could have been a little bit more worse for the Green Bay Packers if we wasn't making those little rush plays and everything. But I would say like overall it was a good game. Um, we just got to clean up a lot of those mess with the undisciplined, like everything else besides that, like I love the scheme plays from Kellen Moore. I love the scheme runs. I love the pass plays. Like everything, just it doesn't seem standard as then. I mean, it could be a little bit more switch ups, a little bit more, but it doesn't seem as standard as predictable, like when we had Brian Johnson. Like, everything I like the mix up. It could be a little bit more. I think they could dial in some schemes from Hurts could run a little bit more better, get them out to the outside because it was like the Green Bay Packers, they was having an easy they had it easy keeping them contained too much. Like, Hurst was a little bit contained. He couldn't really run like that. He couldn't really get to the outside like that because of the plays that I guess it was probably maybe because he was under center that a lot, and he wasn't in no shotgun form and RPO form like he usually be. But I mean, they're gonna have to dial up some game plan to get him rolling out of the pocket a little bit more, just to get his footwork back to what he usually do. But yeah, I think he was a little bit contained in that pocket, just a little bit too much. But man, like if they could dial in that to get him to run, I think it will also open up more run plays for Saquon Barkley because this boy was balling. This boy was, man, he was doing his thing, like, and that's no surprising. There's no surprising that he was doing his thing. But I just felt like if they could come up with some little bit more run schemes for Hurts to get him out of that pocket, because he was just, like I said, he was just a little contained in that pocket. And like I said, maybe because he was under center, and the plays that Kellen Moore was dialing in maybe wasn't those type of plays to get him rolling out like that. But he could have way more dangerous run game. He could have did way more effective. Um, if Hurts was in the run with him, because if you could get the quarterback to run, you can stop those linebackers, and you can stop the defense in their tracks and keep them wondering and hesitating to where to go, and that could get boom. Next thing you know, Saquon is out, like he's already out, and they ain't got enough time to react. Why? Because they don't know who gonna have the ball. Just like when we had Vic and believe it or not, when we had Carson Wentz at that it was the Super Bowl time we won the Super Bowl, and we had Jay Ajayi and Blunt, like, so and then when we went to the Super Bowl too that year, when we had Miles Sanders, like when Hurts was running, like they was hesitating, like the defense trying to figure out who gonna have the ball, because the RPOs and the run schemes that we was doing, like, so Yeah, my bad, man. My bad for that. Service done dropped. I don't know what was going on with that. But yeah, 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 yeah. Like I was saying, is that yeah, man, if he could mix it up, kind of mix it up, give Hurts like dial in some run schemes or Hurts, because I see that Hurts was trying to run, but like the plays was just like, I don't think it was like those type of run scheme plays. It was just a little bit too standard, and they was Green Bay was picking up on them. They was keeping them contained. So we definitely gotta dial in got some good quarterback run schemes just to get him out of that pocket and to mix it up with him and Saquon Barkley. And then that would essentially open up even more passing game for AJ Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goddard. And now we got John Dotson, like he could open up for him too. So but yeah, yeah, not too much to injure him, but just enough to mix it up that we could even Saquon could actually ball out even more. Like, because this guy, he really took control of that game, and we definitely was able to utilize him to the fullest. I know he was grateful for being on the team, especially to being on the team that got a way, way, way better O line or blocking, and he was able to do what he was able to show his potential. And a lot of people all talking like Giants fans want to downgrade all he injured is like, maybe because he was getting injured a lot because of he ain't had no protection. Like, that's tended to work. Just like I feel like happened with Michael Vick. He was injured a lot. Why? Because they didn't know Michael Vick was getting sacked like 7 times a game. Like, like sooner or later you're gonna get injured, getting hit like that. And Saquon keep getting hit in the backfield and everything. Like, keep getting like you don't got no protection. That's what's gonna happen. Like, so um and I feel like he'll probably be more better. Like, he got protection. You don't got to take those necessary hits, and he got time to show his potential. And I'm definitely wishing him best on our team, and I'm looking for more games of what he did for us this week. So, man, all best to him. But yeah, definitely, definitely, like we gonna have to clean up those mistakes on the offense and offensive side, and but I know those is minor mistakes that's gonna clean up. I know we're gonna get it this Monday with the Falcons. And I know we gonna have it. I'm gonna definitely try to watch that game because I want to see Nick Foles. I think he's supposed to be tired on that game with the Falcons as the Eagles. So that's what's up. You know what he did for us. But yeah, like on it, and I'm gonna end it before I could get back into the job. I'm gonna end it with the defense side. It's self-explanatory, man. Like, you already know what they did. They did enough though. They didn't do too bad that I expect, but at the same time, it's some stuff that I want them like the tackling. They gotta pick up on that with the tackling a little bit more better. I thought it was gonna based on his preseason. I'm like, yo, okay, we got some guys to tackle, but you already know when the regular season comes, it's a little different playing with starters. So, man, our starters on the defense side definitely going to have to do. He wasn't as too bad because I saw some good tackling too, but it just wasn't enough. They're going to have to step it up a little bit more with the tackling and and just the defense IQ, man. Picking up on these guys, your eyes where they don't supposed to be. I saw a lot of those people looking at the quarterback and looking downfield when they need to be looking up, you know, worrying about what's going on in it, or up close when they need to be protecting what's going on behind them. Like, see Jay Garden Johnson, I don't know what he was thinking on that pass to Reed. When he backpedaled all the way to the other side of the field, and like, like you gotta contain that, man. Like, you can't you because he was too worried about what Jordan Love was doing than worrying about what the receivers going to be doing. And a lot of times that's what happened. And like, so that was just a little rush. I'm pretty sure he probably gonna clean that up. Um, but like, yeah, like the defense got to make sure they are protecting what doing their job. Stop trying to do other people's job and worry about your job. And your eyes, the eyes need to be where it's supposed to be at, and they need to pick up on what the quarterback and what the offense is offering them, or with the defense IQ, and get a little bit more better with their tackling. So hopefully that will experience what happened more and more down the line on the next on this next game. We'll see something with the defense, but I do want to say that I'm proud of them holding them to six in that first beginning. They actually had some goal line stops. And like, so that's something good to be thankful and grateful on that they did that. So that's why I said it wasn't too much of a bad game. It's just those little stuff that I want, and I'm looking for them to make better. But other than that, man, it was a whole solid game, fighting through adversity, and pulling through, like, uh even through all the mistakes, we found a way to win. And I like and I'm happy to still see that mentality going on to this season of the despite what happens, find a way to win, make adjustments, and on to the next play. Like, no matter what mistakes, no matter what, on to the next play. Like, and I like that we could score. Like, whatever our defense, it's I'm impressed that our offense could take over. That's what we need. Our defense, I'm not surprised, suspecting our defense to do a whole bunch of, stopping and doing a whole bunch of other stuff. But our offense, I want our offense to take over just in case our defense is having a hard time. And that's what we did. We scoring points. Like, scoring, it's not easy to score 30 points in the league. It's definitely not easy. Shoot, it get a little hard at sometimes to score 20 points. Like, so to score 30 points, that's something, like, so for us to be able to do that, and it could have been more points, but to score 30 points despite the turnovers, that's something to celebrate and be happy about. That means our offense could take over. And every time the Green Bay Packers went down to score on our defense, we went back and we answered right after. Like, and to get a field goal before the half, and then come out after the half on third quarter and score with that AJ Brown pass, like, that's huge. That's to let you know our offense can step it up when it needs to be, and like, and I hope for that will continue. I'm happy what Kellen Moore is doing for the offense and the schemes, and what he's dialing for the plays. So yeah, man. Uh, I'm gonna say keep doing your thing, and I'm gonna get back into this job. I'm gonna come out with another vid, so stay tuned. But yeah, that's all I just want to speak on. Let me know if you agree or disagree, or what you feeling, what you feel about on the game. But like, overall, I'm impressed, and I like what I saw on our first game, a rest game. You know, I like what I saw, and and good, man. On to the next one. So it's your boy Hyphen Jers. Thanks for tuning out, Hey Fan Eagles. You already know it's Bird Game. I'm out.